Okay, and in this section we're going to look at how to implement a serial handler and analog handler. I'm going to open VTB Pro, and as you can see I've added a text entry object with serial join number 1 and a slider with analog value 1. And now we're going to go back to our control system class. We'll scroll down to find our user interface on serial change event method. We'll delete the non-implementation exception, and I will add switch statement, which is going to check IP ID of the device that triggered the serial change event. So we'll do basically the same what we've done on our digital change event method. So I've added the device ID, and the case is going to be based on our touch panel IP ID. And I'm going to create a method called TP handler serial, which is going to take args as an argument. Okay, and now I need to go to our TP handler class, and I'm going to have to create the method. So we'll go private void, and I'm going to call it TP handler serial, and it's going to have one parameter, which is going to be a SIG event args. And now we need to add a switch statement, which will check for what signal has been triggered on our touch panel. So we know it's going to be a serial, so I need to go back to my join number class, and in the enum serial I will add a text entry, and which is going to equal to 1, which is our join number on our touch panel file. So I'll add that in, and this is where if there's a signal coming on a join number 1 from a serial, this will get triggered. So now we can just add a Crestron console print line, and we're just going to print it into our console. So whatever it's being entered into the text entry, it will get printed straight away into our console. And that's it. And now I'm gonna compile this program, and I'm gonna load it to our processor and see what happens. Okay, once the program is loaded and we start typing into our text entry, we can see it's getting printed into our console on the processor. So that works exactly as expected. And in the next section we're gonna look at the analog change event. So again, we do the same thing when we've done on the serial and digital. So we do switch statement with a device ID, and case is going to be a touch panel IP ID. So you only get triggered with this touch panel ID triggers this event. And I'm going to create a TP handler analog method with args as the argument, and then go back to our TP handler class. And again, I'll do pretty much the same thing what I've done previously. So I'll create a private method called TP handler analog with SIG event args as the parameter, and we use again switch statement, and we'll track what is the number of the SIG signal that got triggered. And I'm going to use a case which is going to have our join number analog, and I'm going to have to add that into the join number class in our analog enum. So I'm going to call it slider, and the value is going to be 1, which is our join number on the touch panel. So I'm going to add that in, and I'm going to have to cast the SIG number to our join numbers analog. So now we already created a set analog method in our previous video, so we can actually use this method to set a feedback on our slider. So I'm going to go underscore user interface dot set analog, and I'm going to use the value of the signal coming from the touch panel. So I'm going to type args.sig.uShort_value, and the second argument is going to be the index of our analog. So that's going to be analog.slider, and obviously the third argument is our touch panel. So I'm going to put that in. Once that's all done, as you can see, on our VTP Pro design, we've got our minimum value is 0 and maximum value is 65,535. So basically the top value of the slider is 65,535, on the bottom is 0, and as you can see, if I try to drag the slider up and let it go, it will go back to 0 because there's no feedback. Okay, I'll go back to our program, and just to get a better visual representation of our numbers, I'm gonna print the analog value to our console. So I'll just go crestron.println, the analog value, and it's gonna be again rx.sig.ushort-value. So I'm gonna compile this program and I'm gonna load it to our processor. And once the program started, if I move the slider, as you can see, we get analog value in our console, and we also get a feedback on the X panel. And as you can see, the top value is 65,535 and the bottom value is 0. Thank you for watching.